from America, 28 years old. She went to document the civilian deaths there and the civilian suffering of this war so she could take it back to America and let her people know that there's immense suffering going on. And she was killed on the way to the airport. This is Rachel Corrie, who stood in front of an Israeli, basically a tank without a gun, and was bulldozed over, protecting the house of a pharmacist who had nothing to do with terrorism. This is Tom Hurdell, this man who was shot trying to block the bullets from Palestinian children that were being shot at. A young Englishman who we will not know what his fate was to be. His parents had to bury him. And he was using his body to protect Palestinian children, not British children. Palestinian children. That is mercy. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that He is Arham ar-Rahimin. And that is why we have to reinstill the centrality of the Messenger of Allah in our lives. Because this is what is missing in the Ummah. We shout and we scream, and yet He never shouted and screamed. مَا كَانَ صَخَابٍ بِالْأَسْوَاقِ. They say in the Shifa that the only place it's acceptable to scream is in the souk. When you're telling people, بَصَلْ أَحْلَى مِنَ الْعَسَلِ, you know, onion sweeter than honey. Abdurrahman al-Awza'i, the Lebanese Syrian alim, once walked by an onion seller who said, بَصَلْ أَحْلَى مِنَ الْعَسَلِ. And he said, أَيَظُنْ هَذَا أَنَّ الْكِذِبْ يَجُوزُ فِي مِثْلِ هَذَا. Does he think you can lie in things like that even? Little white lies? Because onions are not sweeter than honey. So this is the rahmah that the Prophet ﷺ came to infuse the world with, this mercy. And this is why the Muslims of all people should be the people that remind others of their own principles, of their own truths. The Prophet ﷺ reminded the Jahili Arabs, he said, دُعِيتُ إِلَى حِلْفٍ فِي الْجَاهِلِيَّةِ لَوْ دُعِيتُ إِلَيْهِ فِي الْإِسْلَامِ لَأَجَبْتُ. I was called to an alliance in the Jahiliyyah. If they invited me to it in Islam, I would have answered Hilf al-Fudul, because it was an alliance to defend the weak and the oppressed. And the Prophet stood by right where he saw it. He stood by right where he saw it. And this is why Shurayh al-Qadi, when the Jew opposed Imam Ali, who was Amir al-Mu'mineen, in a famous case, and he came to him and the Jew presented his argument and Ali presented his, Shurayh al-Qadi said, Aqdi lil-Yahudi. And when he did that, the Jew said, this is your ruler, and you're saying that I'm right? And he said, because this is what appears to me. He hasn't brought me sufficient evidence. And he said, if this is Islam, I'm a Muslim. This is akhlaq. لا يجرمنكم شنآن قوم على ألا تعدلوا اعدلوا هو أقرب للتقوى. Do not let the loathing of a people cause you to be unjust. Shana'an, according to Ibn Asakir, is a specific type of bughd. It is a bughd that blinds people from the goodness in their enemies. It's a blindness that does not allow a person to see what is good in their enemies. And when Ikrimah ibn Abi Jahl came in to become a Muslim, the Prophet said, Alimtu anna min abika ya'ti al-khair. I knew that good would come from your father. In other words, he saw good in Abu Jahl, our messenger, his enemy, who was Fir'aun Hadid Ummah. He saw good in him, and the good came in the form of his son, Ikrimah. And this is why you cannot be blinded by hatred. We are not people of hatred. We are people that look with ayn al-shafaqa, with the eye of compassion. Because when we see people who are lost, we want to see them guided. لا يؤمن أحدكم حتى يحب لأخيه ما يحب لنفسه. No one truly believes until he loves for his brother what he loves for himself. And this is why Imam Nawawi said, this love, يشمل اليهودي والنصراني. It is a love that encompasses Jews and Christians. Why? And everyone else. Why? Because you should at least want for them guidance.
محمد سيد الكونين والثقلين والفريقين من عرب ومن عجم. محمد سيد الكونين والثقلين والفريقين من عرب ومن